The way of worship used by the savages. Before we launch out into the particulars of their worship, 'twill be proper to remark that the savages give the name of genius or spirit to all that surpasses their understanding, and proceeds from a cause that they cannot trace. Some of these spirits they take to be good, and some bad. Of the former sort are the spirit of dreams, the Michibichi, mentioned in my list of animals, a solar quadrant, an alarm watch, and an infinity of other things that seem to them to be inconceivable. Of the latter sort are thunder, hail falling upon their corn, a great storm, and in a word, everything that tends to their prejudice, and proceeds from a cause that they are ignorant of. If a fusee burst, either through the fault of the metal, or by being overloaded, and maims a man, they'll tell you that there is an evil spirit lodged within it. If by chance the branch of a tree puts out a man's eye, the effect is owing to an evil spirit. If a sudden gust of wind surprises some in a canoe about the middle of their passage across the lakes, 'tis an evil spirit that disturbs the air. If the dregs of any violent distemper robs a man of his reason, 'tis an evil spirit that torments him. These evil spirits they call Machi Manitus, and gold and silver they lift into that number. However, 'tis to be observed that they talk of these spirits in a bantering way, or much after the same manner that our shrewd Europeans rally upon magicians and sorcerers. Here I cannot forbear to repeat once more that the historical accounts of Canada are as scarce as the geographical maps of that country, for I never met with a true one but once, and that in the hands of a Quebec gentleman, the impression of which was afterwards prohibited at Paris, but for what reason I know not. I mention this with regard to their opinion of the devil, for it is alleged that the savages are acquainted with the devil. I have read 1,000 ridiculous stories writ by our clergymen, who maintain that the savages have conferences with him, and not only consult him, but pay him a sort of homage. Now all these advances are ridiculous, for in earnest, the devil never appeared to these Americans. I asked an infinity of savages whether the devil was ever seen among them, in the shape of a man or any other animal. I likewise consulted upon this head the ingeniousest of the mountebanks or jugglers, who are a very comical sort of fellows, as you shall hear anon. And it may be reasonably presumed that if ever the devil appeared to them, they had been sure to have told me of it. In fine, after using all possible means for a perfect knowledge of this matter, I concluded that the ecclesiastics did not understand the true importance of that great word Machi Manitou, which signifies an evil spirit. Machi being the word for evil, and Manitou for spirit. For by the devil they understand such things as are offensive to them, which in our language comes near to the signification of misfortune, fate, unfavorable destiny, etc. So that in speaking of the devil, they do not mean the evil spirit that in Europe is represented under the figure of a man with a long tail and great horns and claws. The savages never offer sacrifices of living creatures to the Kichi Manitou, for their common sacrifices upon that occasion are the goods that they take from the French in exchange for beavers. Several persons of good credit have informed me that in one day they burnt at Missilimakinac 50,000 crowns worth of such goods. I never saw so expensive a ceremony myself, but let that be as it will. The particular circumstances of the sacrifice are these. The air must be clear and serene, the weather fair and calm, and then everyone brings his offering and lays it upon the woodpile. When the sun mounts higher, the children make a ring round the pile with pieces of bark lighted in order to set it on fire, and the warriors dance and sing round them till the whole is burnt and consumed, while the old men make their harangues addressed to the Kichimanitou, and present him from time to time with pipes of tobacco lighted at the sun. These dances, songs, and harangues last till sunset, Only they allow themselves some intervals of rest in which they sit down and smoke at their ease. It remains only, before I make an end of this chapter, to repeat the very words of their harangues pronounced by the old fellows, and of the songs sung by the warriors. Great Spirit, Master of our lives, Great Spirit, Master of all things both visible and invisible, Great Spirit, Master of other spirits, whether good or evil, command the good spirits to favor thy children, the Ottawas, etc. Command the evil spirits to keep at a distance from them. O Great Spirit, keep up the strength and courage of our warriors, that they may be able to stem the fury of our enemies. Preserve the old persons, whose bodies are not quite wasted, that they may give counsel to the young. Preserve our children, enlarge their number, deliver them from evil spirits, to the end that in our old age they may prove our support and comfort. Preserve our harvest and our beasts, if thou meanest that we should not die for hunger. Take care of our villages, and guard our huntsmen in their hunting adventures. Deliver us from all fatal surprises, when thou ceasest to vouchsafe us the light of the sun, which speaks thy grandeur and power. Acquaint us by the spirit of dreams with what thy pleasure requires of us, or prohibits us to do. When it pleases thee to put a period to our lives, send us to the great country of souls, where we may meet with those of our fathers, our mothers, our wives, our children, and our other relations. O Great Spirit, hear the voice of the nation. Give ear to all thy children, and remember them at all times. As for the songs which the warriors sing till sunset, they are to this purpose. Take heart, the Great Spirit vouchsafes such a glorious sun. Cheer up, my brethren, how great are his works, how fine is the day. This Great Spirit is all goodness. 'Tis he that sets all the springs in motion. He ruleth over all. He is pleased to hear us. Let us cheer up, my brethren. We shall subdue our enemies. Our fields shall bear corn. Our hunting shall succeed well. We shall all of us keep our health. The old persons shall rejoice. The children shall increase, and the nation shall prosper. But now the Great Spirit leaves us. His Son withdraws. He has seen the Ottawas, etc. 'Tis done, 'tis done. The Great Spirit is satisfied. My brethren, let us pluck up a good heart. We must remark that the women likewise make addresses to him, and that commonly when the sun rises, upon which occasion they present and hold up their children to that luminary. When the sun is almost down, the warriors march out of the village to dance the dance of the Great Spirit. But after that, there is no day or time fixed for these sacrifices, no more than for the particular dances.